Story, story. Story. Story, story.
Story.
Spill, spill.
Spill.
Spill, spill.
Spill.
Audacity, audacity.
Audacity. Audacity.
Audacity, audacity.
Audacity. Audacity.
Once upon a time.
Time.
On the 1st of April, 2012. April Fool's Day, right? Indeed, it seemed like April Fool's. I was lying in bed with then my husband. It was about midnight. Suddenly, the door opened. And like clockwork, we both sat up in bed. Microseconds later, there were flashlights in our eyes. We could hardly see. We just followed instructions. Back up, back up, back up, back up! Lie down! Move this place, move! I didn't understand what was happening. I just followed instructions. Tie your hand! Tie your hand! Tie that man! What did they do for here? Jamila said you don't get husband. We will kill you today. I lay down. My hands were tied. I wasn't frightened. I was just wondering, what's going on here? I could hear very far away in the distance my husband trying to be macho. Thief! Thief! Ole! Ole! He shouted. He was beaten, literally, blue-black. He was thrown on the floor. One of them took a metal rod and tried to strike him. He moved his head only slightly. The tile that the metal rod hit popped out from the floor. We were robbed. We had only been in Nigeria at the time for about 6 months. I had been living in the UK since I was about 17 years old. Everything gone in the twinkle of an eye. And as if that wasn't enough, we were taken, well, I was taken to the school, and everything was cleared out, taken away in the twinkle of an eye. Okay? But did it really go on? My husband at the time, he could hardly work. He complained of headaches all the time. After a while, pains. After a while, he couldn't move one hand. He couldn't walk. He couldn't control his bowels. And then he ended up in a wheelchair. I didn't understand what was going on. And we were called and said, we're told, if he doesn't have a surgery today, he doesn't have 24 hours. He needs a surgery. But the doctors in Lagos are on strike. What do we do? You better go to Ibadan. Go there right away. My dad got his car. We all started going to Ibadan. We were driving. We got to Ibadan. We saw the consultant. He had to have 2 double borehole surgeries in his head. They had the surgery. I hadn't been to Ibadan before. I didn't know what Ibadan was all about. My dad, bless him, he's 84. He was there with me. But he couldn't stay for long. I had to be there by myself. I was frightened. In the middle of the night, they would call me and tell me, "Madam, you need to go and buy catheter. Madam, you need to go and buy this." And I would walk in the middle of the night. I would be scared. I wouldn't see anyone. And I would be shaking. And I would walk, sometimes for a mile, to go and get the things they wanted. There was nowhere to sleep on that first night. We walked around the hospital, my dad and I. Where are we going to sleep? We saw around the staircases a lot of people sleeping all around the staircases. And we're wondering, why are they all sleeping here? Some with mats, some with cardboard. Because too many people. So we continued to walk around. And then we found somewhere. There were park benches there. Why are they all sleeping here? Why are they hustling over there? So we went and we slept. I had 2 scarves in my bag. And I asked my dad, I said, "Do you want one?" He said no. My dad is a general in the army, so he likes to be tough. He is tough. At about maybe 3 a.m., 4 a.m., he called me out. "Young, that scarf." The mosquitoes were as big as cockroaches. They were all over the place. It was war against the mosquitoes. But we made it. We made it. We made it. In the morning, I met some ladies and they said, "Madam Susie, where did you sleep?" I said, "Oh, over there, where the park bench. I don't know why you guys didn't sleep there." "Ah! Is that where you slept?" Yeah. That is where the armed robbers used to enter. Okay. They didn't come. Okay, right. That was the first thing we respect. I would go and I would wash his pool, clean him up, do everything that I could. I started to join every other person on the staircase, since I now know the secret of what was happening on the other side. One day I asked the lady, I said, "How long have you been here in this ward, this area? Head injuries, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries. Those were the people there. How long have you been here?" I said, "Madam, next month we make it 1 year." I stylishly went to ask another person, "How long have you been here?" 3 months. "How long have you been here?" 7 months. "How long have you been here?" 18 months. And me, I just came. Yeah. Am I going to do this one? I did not have my bath for days. I did not have access to water. I had to strip my underwear and throw it in the bin. No water. The toilets were running over with poo and maggots. I couldn't use it. I would wait till it was dark to hide somewhere to use the restroom. I stank. I could smell myself. It was horrible. But I didn't have a choice. One blessed day, I saw a QC girl. She was a doctor in the hospital. Oh, all QC girls. When I saw her, she saw me. I ran. Ronke! Oh my God. It was like I'd never seen anybody in my life. I saw a human. "What are you doing there?" "Here." I explained to her. She said, "Don't worry, you can have my ward." The ward was only but a tiny little space, only a bit bigger than myself. But it felt like a 7-star hotel in Dubai. I slept like a baby for the very first time. I cleaned myself. I felt good. I felt like $1 million. This was the beginning. But I could only have it for a few days. And I continued my journey on the staircase. I would read my Bible at night. At this point, my little daughter at that time was 6 years old. She sent me a pillow and a little mat to use. and I would sleep there in the night. One day I was reading my Bible, and then I saw a notification on my phone, and I checked it out. There had been a plane crash. A plane crash. What is going on? I started to see all sorts of messages. Someone I know had died on that plane. Memuna Mijin Daddy died that night. Memuna was at QC with us. Beautiful. She was our prom queen. Memuna had not been to Nigeria in many years. She had not been to Nigeria since she left, as a matter of fact. She was here for the wedding. She came with her husband, had 3 children, and she was pregnant. Her nanny was there and her mother was there, and they all perished. Suddenly, my problems failed in comparison. What is the meaning of life? I didn't get it anymore. I didn't sleep that night. I just did not get it anymore. God, what is going on? Why am I even here? What am I doing here? I didn't get it. 2 weeks later, we left the hospital. Praise God. Hallelujah. We made it in under 3 weeks. I don't know what miracle, but I know God was in it. He became anorexic. He was very ill. He was out of work for over a year. He lost all his contacts. He lost all the businesses, everything he was doing, because he had to get well. He still couldn't get well. He had to leave the country. At that point, I said to my son, what if I am a woman that doesn't work? Is the school fees not going to be paid? Are we not going to eat? What if I was sitting at home doing nothing? What if I was sitting at home and squatting on Instagram and saying, a man does not work, that does not work is an infidel? If I was there saying, a man does not work, does not eat, what would have become of myself and my daughter at that point in time? So I continued, as we say, to hustle and hustle and hustle. I couldn't sleep at night for over a year. If a pin dropped, I would hear it. I would go to the curtains and check if the robbers were back. I was paranoid, very paranoid. I was living in fear until one day that I read my Bible and it said, he that the Son of God has set free is free indeed. And that was the day I was set free. Through the night when I couldn't sleep, I started to write. I would write and write and write. I wrote about domestic workers. I started to write because it was someone that worked with us that brought the armed robbers. He was part of the criminal gang. And he was in a very, very dangerous criminal gang because when we caught him, they said to us, Madam, you people should leave them. Because if we arrest them and we get their boss, you will not be able to walk again on the streets of Lagos. Just leave them alone. This was how they went. So I would write and I would tell people, this is how to employ. These are the mistakes that I made. This is what happened to us. And people will write me back and tell me, oh, this is what happened to me too. This happened to me. That happened to me. I opened a blog and I was writing. I started to give all sorts of information for free. This was what I did with my night time. I just wrote. I just shared. And it grew. And then I started to train the parents and the domestic workers, their house helps, their nannies in the school. I would come on Saturdays and tell them what to do, how to get on, what to avoid. I continued to do that with my time. This was my therapy. I started on the journey of discovery. I wanted to know what life was really all about. Surely, I wasn't born to just be a wife. I wasn't born to be just a mother. I wasn't born to work. just can't be that. That can't be life. Life has got to be deeper than that. Do you agree?
Yes.
And I found out then that it is actually optional to be a mother. Do we agree?
Yes.
It's optional to be a wife. Do we agree?
Yes.
But it's not optional to be a great woman. It is not optional to be a great man. You owe it to God to be a great woman. So I started this journey and said, how am I going to become a great woman? I read books like No Man's Business. I went to any course that I could. I needed to the point where I joined a group where the group pretty much was about the devil. That group made me know more about God than any church. Because everything they said that was contrary to the Bible, I would go and find it and research it in the Bible. Just because I wanted to know what life was all about. In doing that, the Son of Man set me free. Freedom started. Audacity started. Audacity to be. And I discovered along the way, and as I spoke to many women, that only a few women be. Only a few women are. Only a few women be. We are afraid to be. Who are you if you are not a Mrs.? If you are not Mama Larry? Who are you? You hide under the shadows of the men. You hide under the shadows of your title, of your job. Who are you? I bake cakes. Is that who you are? Who are you? I cook jollof rice, house of basmati. The very best food in Lagos. Is that who you are, or is that what you do? Who are you? I started that journey to find out who I was, who I am. To become yourself, you need the audacity. You need the audacity to speak. You need your voice. Women really, really want a lot of things. What we really want is the audacity to be. The audacity to be limitless. The audacity to fly. The audacity to do things, to speak. To say I am not married and I am enough. To say I have no kids and I'm enough. To say I don't want children and I'm enough. The audacity to live my life the way I want to live my life. You need the audacity. There are stereotypes that keep stopping us from being who we want to be. A few years ago, Nancy knows, I had a mohawk. And if you know a mohawk, I had no hair on the sides of my hair. No hair here, no hair here. Just in the middle. You know that. Some people call it Dallas. Or Gallas, whatever. I know it as a mohawk. We didn't put your child in a school because the person has, the owner of the school has a mohawk. No, probably not. But guess what? You are not my customer. I didn't care. I stopped caring. I stopped caring. I needed to prove to myself that I could be without wagging tongues. I was judged in the educational sector. Where's Nancy? Raise your hands. Yeah. Lots of judgments. But if you ask them today who will get Porsches in the educational sector, guess what? They know my name. Just because of that mohawk. And the more they talked, the more I refused to change that hair. I refused to change that hair. People that had been in the sector for 30 years would question my hair, and I didn't care. After a while, I colored it. I did and I undid with that hair because they were talking. I started to train teachers in Nigeria. And as I used my voice, they realized that it was my content that mattered. I'm a vessel as unto God. It is not what I look like. started to see schools that would say teachers cannot wear trousers, teachers began to wear trousers. Teachers began to booga. Teachers had the confidence to be, and I wanted that. They would take their pictures and send it to me on Facebook and Instagram. They would tell me, thank you, okay? Because you are, I am. I'm not afraid, because I claimed that I owned my audacity. I wanted to be myself. The parents that came to my school were just like me. Because you know what? They say everybody get their customer. As sweet as ice cream is, you know that not everybody that likes it. As delicious as house of basmati rice in Chevron is, you know that everybody don't like it. Yes! We still have people in the school. Children come to the school with mohawk and I love them. And I will tell people, the Baystar boys that got the $200 million investment, do you know what they look like? Do you know that one wears lipstick? Do you know that one polishes his nails? Do you know that one wears, does his nails? How many of you that dress like Jesus have $200 million investment? Tell me your name. Tell me your name. Beautiful girl, God bless you. When your mommy finishes, you should give me a bank account. I must give you a alert. I must bring in your account. And I mean it. She has a voice already. And don't silence that voice. Don't let anybody stop your children from talking. If you come to our school, a posh school, Parkview Estate, I tell you braggadociously that is the very best school in Nigeria. I tell you because every child that comes out of our school is confident. Every child that comes out of school is brilliant. They have values, they have character. Because we allow them to be. We don't silence them. Women, what do we really want? We want to be. We want the audacity to be. We want to hold high-powered jobs. We don't want to marry and our husband will say we should stay home and look after the children. Thank you. We want to be. We don't want to look at just a select few and say, hey, just like they used to tell me, Ronke Posh, did your husband allow you to do this kind of hair? And in response, I would say, do I need permission from my husband to do this? Because when he wants to do his own hair, he doesn't ask me. And this is not to say don't submit to your husband. Do as you please in your homes. I don't care. I personally have a problem with the word submission. Not because I cannot be submissive. But just like feminism, it is a word that has been misconstrued and misunderstood. We don't know what it means. Because submission is a two-way street. I submit to you, you submit to me. If you love me, it is easy for me to submit to you. So we want the liberty and the freedom for submission. Dual. On both sides. Please join me in this journey of audacity. Let your candle light another. And in doing so, it does not quench your own fire. Yes. If you are not, you are stopping someone else from being. You need to arise and be. Claim that audacity. Audacity to fly. Audacity to start that business. Audacity to wear funny shoes like I'm doing right now. When I wanted to buy these shoes, my beautiful friend behind over there, one day in green, she said, her sister said, Auntie, you're a role model. You can't wear this kind of shoe. I said, watch and see. My daughter said, well, Mom, you can wear it on your YouTube channel. And by the way, follow me at Ronke Posh on all platforms. RONKEPOSH. Another said, no, you wearing anywhere else. Daddy, check it out. I went when I turned up in my friend's house to pick her this morning. She's like, oh my God! No, it's not that shoe. It's that shoe. It's that shoe. I've had it in my wardrobe. I don't know where I'm going to wear it to. But what do we do? He that is Son of God has set free. He set these shoes. Today is the only day I have had the audacity to Trust me, by the time you see me after this, I will not be in this like this. It's intentional. Because I want you to know that you can be.
Yes.
Do not care what they say. Because whether you do or you do not do, they will
talk.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Whether you marry or you don't marry, they will talk. Whether you have children or you don't have children, they will talk. Whatever you do, it's a lost battle already. So why don't you just have the audacity
And
to be?